Alright y'all, this is a quick video about how to use the ToolAid crimper for the Deutsch DTM, DT, and DTP solid barrel terminals. So with these Deutsch DTM, DT, and DTP connectors, there's a couple different terminal options. One of them is the stamped and formed version of the terminals, which look more like a OEM style terminal that you actually fold on the cable crimp and also on the wire seal crimp. These here are what's called solid barrel contacts. So if you look at the pin here, pin on the bottom, socket on the top, on the actual pin itself, this is the crimp area. I can do this. So this is the crimp area. So there's nothing to fold. It's actually a 4-indent crimp on these, so it's just a circle. You stick the wire in there. So now a couple things with these Deutsch connectors, okay? Typically with the OEM style connectors, the receptacle housing, so the female housing, which is a receptacle, right? That will normally have female terminals, which are called sockets. The plug housing on an OEM style connector, generally speaking, has pin terminals for the plug housing. So female housing, normally female terminals, male housing, normally male housing. Now, with the Deutsch connectors, it's backwards. So these are all male housings, okay? This is a DTM 06-2S, this is a DT 06-2S, and this is a DTP 06-2S. So these are all socket side housings, meaning they take sockets for the terminal gender, but if you look at them, they are actually plugs. So these are all plug housings which require socket terminals, which are female terminals. So it's a little bit backwards. So when you talk about Deutsch connectors, it's very important when you speak with someone, or for me, when someone calls me to buy them, or they email me and ask me how to, which housings or which connector kits they want. The first thing that I've got to do is, if we're talking about Deutsch DTM, DT, and DTP terminal, or connector families, is okay, are we talking, when you say you need a DTM two-way plug, to me that is a plug with sockets. So I would call that a socket side housing. If you were looking for a DTM receptacle, none of those are here, and those would take the pin housing. So it's very easy to get those sort of mixed up because, again, normally the receptacle or the female housing will take female terminals, and the male housing will take male terminals. With the Deutsch connectors here, these gray ones, they're actually backwards. So either way, these stamped and formed terminals that are not here, the solid barrel contacts are a much better option than the stamped and formed. So with these terminals here, not only are they more reliable, they're also easier to crimp. They save time, which is always great. So with these terminals here, what I have here, this is an 18 gauge M22759/32-18-0. So it's slant 32. So jacket is 1/32 of an inch thick on this tufts wire. It's 18 gauge and is black. So when you go to crimp these terminals onto the wire, with the solid barrel terminals, all you do is you take your terminal, okay? We're actually gonna, we'll do the socket. So on the socket terminal, there's gonna be the terminal side that actually mates to the pin, which is the long leg on the barrel, and then in the back there's the short guy. So the short guy is where the wire actually goes. So you're gonna insert the terminal into this tool with the hole sticking up like this where the wire goes. So on the actual tool itself, these Sargent ToolAid, ToolAid crimpers, this one here says size 16, which we have a size 16 terminal, which are the DT terminals. Here, if you look right now, it's completely unreleased, so there's nothing in the middle there. All you do is, once you insert the terminal, you'll actually see here how the indents on the crimp tool come down. So you'll see them squeeze together right there. It's a ratcheting tool, so you'll know when you've squeezed it hard enough because it'll release. So in this case, we're just going to take the socket terminal for our DT06-2S. It goes in the hole, okay? It's flush. This is the top of the terminal, so that's where our cable is gonna go. So we take the cable, we insert it into the terminal end. I'm trying to do this one-handed here, so bear with me, right? So now the the wire cable's here. Squeeze all the way. You'll know when you squeeze hard enough because the tool will release. The terminal's crimped. See if I can focus on this thing. What I wanted to show you guys is on this terminal is actually an indent hole. So you can see the, to make sure that the terminal is inserted all the way far enough. Let me see if I can focus on this one more time here. If not, I'll put up a picture on the on a post here. Yeah, I'll just do that. So I'll do a follow-up picture to show you actually where the you know, what the inspection hole looks like on this, to make sure that you've got the cable in far enough, and also it's not too much exposed cable, you know, hanging out the back side of this thing. So you want the jacket sort of flush with the end of the terminal. But either way, so that terminal is crimped. This terminal would be ready to be inserted into this middle connector, which is the DT family, which is size 16 terminals. In this case, 20 to 16 gauge. That's an 18 gauge terminal, and you're off and ready to go. So